So in this video guys, I'm going to show you how to go from this very plain pumpkin to this very detailed pumpkin right here. And if you're using your airbrush for the first time, I'm going to show you how to use it. And if you want to buy an airbrush just like this, the link is in the description box below. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so if you're on this channel for the first time, I say this all the time. Anyways, welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're old. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use an airbrush, especially if you've never used an airbrush before. If you're a complete beginner or you're an amateur using airbrushes, yes, I'm going to show you how to use an airbrush and how to use it on the cake. Yes, you can use these techniques. I'm going to teach you on other things, but I make cake, so that's what I know how to use now. So, okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do like thin lines, thick lines, blurry lines, and how to layer on colors to whatever it is you're brushing, and how to create dimensions. Okay, so these techniques I'm going to show you. Okay, if you want to learn these techniques and you want to be better at airbrushing, stay tuned and watch this video to the end. Just run with me. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to show you guys how to use this. So this is a compressor and this is the gun. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to regulate this. And this is the color we're going to be. We're going to be using this orange color. I made it myself. If you want to see how to make airbrush color without having to buy, because airbrush color is different from the regular color you use to color cakes and stuff. Like the color is different, so it can come out of the bottle. So if you want to see how I made this, I'm going to put the link somewhere up here. It says click on me. Yeah, click on that. So today I'm going to show you how to use this and how to use it to the purple thing. Okay, so when you plug it, it comes on. So I like to put it on something because it vibrates. Okay, so we're going to be using this today and I'm going to show you how to use it. So one thing with the airbrush is when you have this is the gun. I don't know what your airbrush looks like. The reason why I removed this is so that you can see, let me put it like so you can see, so that you can see the movement of this pin. So when you press this, when you press it down, it's not going to spray. When you press it down, the mouth is open. But when you move it backwards, you can control. When you move it backwards, see this thing is moving. You can control how much paint comes out. So if you move it a little paint comes out. More paint comes out. And even more, the more you move it backward, the more paint comes out from here. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean. And on the airbrush calibration, there is medium, low, and high. So let me show you guys what I am talking about. So let me put some orange food color into here. This is like orange brownish color. So now this is our airbrush. I already put some color into it. So now what you want to do is, let's press it down. This is me pressing it down. If you notice, pressing it down makes the sound of the compressor change. See? But color is not coming out just by pressing it down. So if you want color to come out, you have to press it down and push backward. See? The more you push backward, the more color comes out. If I press it down, no color will come out. If I push backward a little color comes out. See? If I push back, let me put that one here. If I push backward a little bit more color comes out. If I push backward more color comes out. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's say you want to make a thin line. If you want to make a thin line, you have to push it backward just slightly. Let me show you what I mean. Just slightly. And you have to move it close if you want a line. The closer it is, the more defined the line will be. Let me show you another example. The closer your airbrush is to whatever it is you're spraying, the thinner the line will be. The farther it is, the broader the line will be. See? The closer it is, the thinner the line will be. I hope you can see that. So let's say you want to make a thin line, see? I hope you guys can see this, because I'm using a whiteboard. Or maybe I should use my table. I'll clean it up. See, if you make it thin. If you take it further, it becomes thicker. Do you see this line? Okay. So now Now that you know how to like spray and control it, the more you push it back, the more color comes out. The more you push it back, the more color comes out. The closer it is, the thinner the line. The further it is, the thicker the line. I hope that makes sense. So now that we know how to like dispense color from the airbrush gun, I'm going to show you how to airbrush on an actual cake. Okay. So now guys, let's learn how to go from this plain pumpkin to this very detailed one. Okay guys, before we go ahead, the link to buy this airbrush is in the description box below. I've had this airbrush for about 4 to 5 years and it's been absolutely amazing, and it is ridiculously cheap. I think right now it is about $64. When I bought it was about maybe $50 or $56 or so, and the link is going to be in the description box below, and I get a commission for every airbrush you buy, so get to it guys. So guys, now that you know how to like work with your airbrush, how to get thin and thick lines, and how to like make them depending on how far or how close, and how to get the color to come out of the gun. So today I'm going to show you how to airbrush this pumpkin and give it dimension. So the first thing you want to do is use the same color you colored your fondant with, the same shade, and start to go into the deep ridges of the pumpkin. Let's say you're not coloring a pumpkin, maybe you're coloring a fish, or go into the bigger ridges first, the folds that are very prominent that you can see. For example, in this pumpkin, it is this 5 different ridges in the middle. So we're going to go over that with the same color that we colored our fondant with, the same shade of orange, So what we want to do is to make very thick lines first in those ridges, and then we're going to go back and make the tiny lines. I showed you how to make thick and tiny lines. We're now going to make those tiny lines in between. You see those tiny things like in between the ridges, like on each bulb. You see those tiny lines are already made on the pumpkin. Yes, we're going to go over those like small with tiny lines of color with our airbrush. So that way it's going to give it more depth, and it is going to give it more dimension. It won't just be like a plain pumpkin, if that makes sense. Okay, so once we are done coloring with the same color we use, we're going to do top and bottom. And you're going to make sure it looks quite uniform. The deep ridges are airbrushed and the tiny ridges are airbrushed as well. And you don't want to put too much color in the tiny ridges, and don't worry, I know it's glossy right now, but it's going to dry really fast because most airbrush colors have an alcoholic base, and within 5-6 minutes it will be matte, so don't worry about the gloss. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to go in with some orange mixed with a little brown. The reason why you're doing that is because you want to make it a little darker, but you don't want to go too dark. It's just like when you're layering foundation, or you don't want to just put everything on your face at once. If you want to do 2 or 3 layers, you go like the first layer first and then the second. You don't just put like a whole dollop of foundation on your face the same way. So now we're going with, I already mixed the same orange with a little bit of brown, so I need to give it a little bit more depth. You can really, it's not very defined, and don't worry, you don't want it to be very defined, you just want to give it some more depth. So once you're done with that, you just want to go over the whole pumpkin uniformly, once you're done with that, and then we're going to use brown, and this brown we're going to use, you're just going to use a little bit of it. The reason why you're doing that is because pumpkins, like natural pumpkins, are not just orange and bright and glowy. They have some dark shades and some not very pronounced orange patches on them. So that's what we're going to do. So now we're going to take some brown, and you're going to notice now it has more, there's places that have more orange, some places that are darker, and that's what we're going to do. We want some places to be darker and some places to be more brighter and orangey. So now I'm going in with some brown. If you notice, I'm doing it bit by bit. Now you want to use very thin lines, and you want to put your airbrush speed on very low because you want very little. You need to know that like the deeper colors can easily overpower the lighter colors, and it is impossible, almost impossible to take off color once you spray. Like you can't clean it. Basically, you're going to spoil what you're doing. So when you're brushing with a darker color or a deep color, you should do it in beads. Like you should put the speed on low, and then you should spray in beads. Can you see it is giving it more dimension? And it is just very little, and I'm going on low here, and I'm using like very thin lines. So now that we're done, don't worry, it is glossy right now. I already told you guys it will become matte in like 5-6 minutes, don't worry. So now I already made the head of the pumpkin, and I'm going to put it on, and we all know that like the stalk of the pumpkin isn't like this green and bright and pretty. It's usually a little bit of brown with like a darker shade of green and stuff. So we're going to put some brown in it. I already mixed some brown with a little green, so we're just going to airbrush it a little. And when you do this, you want to make sure some patches of green still show through your pumpkin stalk. That way it looks more natural, it looks more pumpkin like. Yeah. And that's all she wrote. It is very easy. So the trick here when you're brushing whatever it is you're brushing is that you should start with the lighter colors first, and you should go in bits. Don't go too fast and don't go too slow. You should go in bits, and when you're brushing with darker colors, you should do it in thin lines. That way you have more control. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.